considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used. Teams, Q&A, Facebook, and YouTube. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you very much, Anne.
Oh, there it's perfect.
I did that before and it stopped. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Yes. Okay, we will try. If it stops working, let me know. I had stereo going on. I have one on each side. So one of them will work.
I hear you now.
Let me begin at the beginning, authorizing human resources. There's one item, authorize the appointment of Aaron Baker to Historic Resource Supervisor, Parks and Recreation. We have several items listed under the commissioners. Item A, adopt a resolution rescinding the County of Berks grant funding awarded to Neighborhood Housing Services of Greater Berks, Inc. in the amount of $142,540, with change in the scope and timing of their project, and further authorizing Kevin S. Barnhart, Chief Operations Officer, to execute the rescission letter terminating grant funding agreement. Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute the partnership agreement between the County of Berks chief elected official and Berks County Workforce Development Board effective April 1 of 2024 through March 31st of 2028. The agreement defines the roles and responsibilities of the county WDB as they relate to the local governance structure defined in the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act of 2014 and all subsequent implementing regulations issued by the U.S. Department of Labor and Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry. Item C, adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute disposal capacity agreements for the 2024 through 2034 municipal waste management plan period, subject to final review and approval by the county solicitor, by and among the County of Berks, Berks County Solid Waste Authority, and each of the following landfills: Alliance Sanitary Landfill, Bethlehem Landfill, Commonwealth Environmental Systems LP, Conestoga Landfill, Cumberland County Landfill, Fairless Landfill, Grand Central Sanitary Landfill, Lancaster Landfill, LCSWMA Resource Recovery Facility, McKean County Landfill, Rolling Hills Landfill, Susquehanna Resource Management Complex, Western Berks Landfill, and York County Resource Recovery Center. This is a plan that has to be executed every 10 years. We do have our executive director of the Berks County Solid Waste Authority present. Would you like to comment on this? And can somebody see that she had, there it is. Heather will give you the microphone.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the reason I'm here is obviously we started the solid waste planning process back in 2022 as required by DEP. At that point, the commissioners appointed a solid waste advisory committee, and we have been working on this process ever since. We are now at the point where we need to provide capacity assurance. In the 2014 plan, we simply went to the Berks County disposal facilities that had previously been in our plan, which was the Delaware County Solid Waste Authority, Western Berks Refuse Authority, and the Conestoga Landfill, and secured that capacity. Under this plan revision, DEP had requested that we go out for public interest. So we advertised in the PA Bulletin, we advertised in the Waste Advantage magazine, and we received 14 facilities that were interested. These facilities will guarantee in excess of 5.7 million tons of disposal over our 10-year planning period, which is 1.7 million tons in excess that we will need to meet our requirements. So once we have these capacity assurances signed, we'll then distribute this plan to our 73 municipalities, the county, and DEP. The municipalities will have a 30-day comment period. We'll incorporate those comments and any other comments we receive in the plan. We will then come back to the county commissioners and request approval of the plan. And once that happens, the plan will go to DEP. They have a 60-day review period. However, we're going to be including them in the municipal planning period as well to kind of shorten that up. DEP does have the ability to request an extension. We don't need the plan approved until October of 2024. So certainly time is on our side, but we'd like to just kind of keep moving with this process. Really, the biggest part of the plan is securing those disposal capacity agreements.
Thank you very much. And that was my big question. When I saw the list, I said, wow, yeah. I don't remember this from before. So,
and the one, all of those facilities, except some of Berks County's waste right now, some less than 1,000 tons a day, some as much as 100,000 tons a day, or I'm sorry, per year. McKean County landfill is really the only facility that is listed there that is not currently accepting our waste. There is a proposed transfer station in Coomeroo Township that is proposing to rail their trash to the McKean County facility, and that is why that facility was also added to this plan.
McKean County is quite a distance. At least Susquehanna is in the east, but McKean County is it northeast? Northwest?
Northwest, and the Susquehanna is actually the Harrisburg incinerator.
Harrisburg.
Lancaster County.
Even closer.
Yes. But yeah, the McKean County would be, is an existing landfill. It has 1,000 ton per day permit by road, 5,000 ton a day permit by rail. That portion of the site has never been opened. This particular proposed transfer station has received a grant from the state for intermodal transportation in cooperation with Casella that owns that facility. So that's kind of just why that facility was added.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
With the agenda, item D, adopt a resolution authorizing Kevin S. Barnhart, Chief Operations Officer, to execute the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania Patient Trust Fund bond renewal for the Berksheim Nursing and Rehabilitation for the coverage period of April 1, 2024 through April 1 of 2026. Item E, adopt a resolution authorizing Michael S. Rivera, Vice Chair, to execute the confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement between ADM Architects and the County of Berks for facilities lighting control project and other facilities needs. I will recuse myself on this item. The president of ADM Architects is my brother. I have had no involvement in this at all. In fact, was not even aware of it until I got the agenda. To the credit of those involved, they knew the connection, and that is why Commissioner Rivera is designated on the agenda to sign this agreement. Is there anything else, Madam Solicitor, that I should note?
No.
Okay, thank you. Item F, adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute the confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement between Meister Cox Architects and the County of Berks for the facilities lighting control project and other facilities needs. Item 2, a motion to authorize the execution of contract agreements and amendments as set forth on the contract agenda listing dated March the 18th of 2024. There are a total of 6 contracts, one with the Area Agency on Aging, one with Children and Youth Services, one with the Commissioners, and 3 with Facilities and Operations. Item 3, a motion to authorize execution of the payments and electronic transfers for the week ending March 21st of 2024. And item 4, a motion to authorize execution of employee payroll disbursements dated March 26th of 2024.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Please note that I am abstaining from item 92.2024E. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried. We'll move now to reports of our treasurer and controller, and we'll begin with our Berks County treasurer, Mitch Darcourt.
Thank you, Commissioner Linebuck. Today we have an opening balance of $187,177,493.87. We have a balance to clear of $7,917,885.86, leaving us with a balance of $179,259,608.01. That is all.
Thank you very much, Mitch. We'll move now to our county controller, Joe Rutterow, with the controller's report.
Mr. Chairman, for the week ending March 21st, 2024, we have a total accounts payable of $6,100,939.11.
Thank you very much, Joe. We'll move to our Chief Operations Officer, and in lieu of the Chief, we'll have the Deputy Chief, Larry Medaglia.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just making sure that my mic is on. I'm not sure if it is, but I hope so. I wanted to take this opportunity to acknowledge the recognition that was received by our Parks Director, Kathy Wegener. As you may be aware, Kathy was recognized by her peer association, the Pennsylvania Parks and Recreation Society, and Kathy received the Distinguished Member Award, named in honor of their association's longtime director, Robert Griffith. We're very proud of Kathy and the work she's done over the course of her 43 years serving the county in the parks system. The COO team, and I'm sure the board would like to offer your congratulations as well as ours on the great job she does leading our team over at Parks, and thanks to Kathy.
And I'm going to quickly share a photo from the Berks County Parks and Rec Department, highlighting that. That is a big award. Fellow Commissioner Mike Priest from Dauphin County was at this event, and he texted me a photo that he took, and I was able to send I texted her congratulations, and she said, "Where in the world did you get a photo already?" And it was from Commissioner Mike Priest. But yeah, we're very proud of Kathy and winning that award.
Thank you. That concludes our report.
Okay, great. With that, we will move now to commissioners' reports, and we'll begin with Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Thank you, Commissioner Linebuck. A few items today is just to let everyone know this Monday, March 25th at 6:30, my BCTV show will air, and it is on the elections department. We just filmed it yesterday, and we filmed at the South Campus in the conference room, speaking about the elections, what goes on in between elections, because although many people think that the elections department worked 2 days, it's much more than that. So we're talking about what goes on between elections, and you'll also get a look as to where the equipment is stored at and what goes on there as well. And we'll be talking about the logic and accuracy testing that will be happening next week as well on the equipment. So don't miss the show. That is Monday at 6:30 on BCTV. If you can't see it at that time, you can go to their website and watch it there as well. Also tomorrow, there is a job fair at Tech Central, which is the Berks Latino Workforce Development Corporation at 450 South 6th Street here in Reading. There'll be manufacturers there, warehousing, customer service, construction, home health care, just a ton of different employers there. And it is also, they're also accepting people that are in reentry or second chancers. So please go there if you're looking for a job. If you know of anyone that's looking, let them know about the job fair tomorrow, Friday, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. at the Berks Latino Workforce Development Corporation at 460 South 6th Street here in Reading. The good thing about it, if you live in Reading and don't have transportation, you can basically walk there. Another item, today there will be no elections board meeting. There is nothing on the agenda, but I do want to remind everyone the deadline to register to vote or to change parties is on April the 8th. And you can do that here at the County Services Center in the Elections Department office or online at vote.pa.gov. Again, vote.pa.gov. As a reminder, only if you are registered as a Republican or a Democrat can you vote now in the primary. So if you do want to vote for a candidate and you are not registered with either party, you need to do that before April the 8th so that you can vote in the primaries. At the last elections board meeting, we had mentioned that there was still a possible appeal from one of the candidates, which was preventing us to move forward with the ballots. That candidate did appeal. The deadline was on Monday, so they did appeal. So as of right now, we are still not able to print the ballots because that appeal is still pending. We are expecting a decision from the courts on this week, but there's no guarantee. The courts move at their pace. But we do plan to move forward with the LNA testing on Monday. But as soon as we do hear back on that appeal and we're able to get the ballot finished, they will be printed and mailed out. So if you did request a mail-in ballot and you have not received it, it's not that we're delaying it, it's that we are still hearing from this one candidate to know if they will be or will not be on the ballot. One last item is next week, we will not have our regular meeting here at 10 a.m. Next week is one of our quarterly on-the-road meetings, and it will be at the Muhlenberg Township Building at 7 p.m. The address there is 210 George Street in Reading, right off of 5th Street Highway. So if you're in the area and have time, I look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 7 p.m. at our on-the-road meeting. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rivera. Commissioner Dante Santoni.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. Just a few things to report on that I participated in the past week, and also some things that are forthcoming. Something's not working. Am I good? Okay, thank you. I want to recognize Kathy Wegener. I've known Kathy for a long time. We actually went to school together, so I want to commend her and congratulate her on her honors. She's a terrific person. This past week, we recognized at the employee recognition breakfast out at the Berks those that worked at the county for multiples of 5, 10, 15, up to 40, I believe, was the most senior member that work at the Heim, the prison, Ag Center, and library. We have that, I guess, twice a year. So I participated in that. I want to recognize all of those and congratulate those. We also hosted at the VA Congresswoman Chrissy Houlihan, who came and we provided a presentation. Jay did a presentation, did a terrific job. She's also a veteran and sits on some committees in Washington that can be very helpful to us. And we appreciated seeing Congresswoman Houlihan at that event. Met this week and met the team of MHDD with Pam Seaman, and I want to thank her and her team for providing the information that she did and all the great work that her department does at the MHDD. We were invited by the Berks Encore group, Berks County, Lou Ann Oatman, and to help with the Meals on Wheels program. And Len and I had a great opportunity to get out. We went to the Mifflin Center and put some meals together, and then had the opportunity to get out on the road with our driver. I'm going to give Mike Fleming, who drove us and took us around, and had an opportunity to meet a lot of the people that Meals on Wheels helps. And it was a terrific experience. And I want to give a shout out to Luann and her team for the great work that they do at Berks Encore and providing those meals to needy seniors. And that's great. My BCTV show was taped last week, and I want to thank, he's not here, but Kevin Barnhart was my guest, talked about issues that affect Berks County. So I thank Kevin. And I also was invited to participate in the BCTV show, Workers in Berks, Labor Council Group. And I was the guest of them. Joe Scaboria and Mike Reese were the hosts. So I want to thank them for allowing me to participate in that. A couple of Commissioner Rivera talked about some of the issues with elections, and I just want to point out one other deadline. April 16th is a deadline to apply for your mail-in ballot, and I really would hope that people can do that right away, and when they get that, to fill it out and send it in right away. I highly recommend that that's done, so there's no mix-up, no tie-up with the mail. So I encourage people that are interested in voting by mail to request that right away, but you have until April the 16th to get that done and then sent back to make sure that your vote counts for the April 23rd primary. Commissioner Lineback and I participated in the town hall last night at the Reading Public Library. I thought it went well. We talked about a number of different issues, and we want to thank the library system in general and also the Reading Public Library for hosting us last night for our town hall. Our next town hall is April the 9th. That's going to be at the Exeter Community Library. And finally, I just want to announce we were notified by Mayor of Samantha Keg of West Reading for a couple of events with the anniversary of the tragedy at the Palmer explosion. On Friday, the 22nd at 12 noon, there will be a gathering at the R.M. Palmer building at 800 Van Reed Road in Wyomissing. That's for a very short program for a gathering in remembrance of them. And then on Sunday at 4:30 at the site, there's going to be a remembrance as well to remember, as many of us remember what happened last year at that terrible site and that terrible tragedy. So I just wanted to recognize those events that are forthcoming. I think that's my list, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Just a couple items. Earlier this week, Anne Marie Grill, my executive assistant, and I attended a Berks County Department of Ag event in Boyertown, and it was a presentation followed by a tour of Bob's Mill. It's a 1729 grist mill that has been partially restored. By partially, the roof and all of the exterior. We listened to a presentation from Gene, and I forget his last name, but he did the restoration. Very impressive, fascinating program. The program was sold out. People had to have reservations. There were 50 people present. The limit to 50 was because of the limitations of the site when they physically did the tour. So I want to thank our Department of Ag, Emily Wangolo, Amanda Burkhart-Sell, and I believe Amanda was kind of the key organizer of that event. Also note the town hall last night. I want to thank the Reading Public Library. Melissa Adams was there to talk about that library specifically, but we appreciate them hosting. And as noted, we had a number of very different questions that we were able to address. The R.M. Palmer event, I am not available tomorrow, but I do plan to attend Sunday at 4:30 for the wreath laying ceremony. Hard to believe that a year has gone by since that tragic event. And the response of West Reading, all of the first responders, including our Department of Emergency Services, was fantastic. But I have to tell you, I was particularly impressed with Mayor Kaag and her team, the West Reading Fire Department, and their response to an extremely tragic situation. So those that can participate tomorrow and or Sunday, I think that would be a good thing to do. The last thing, I just wanted to reiterate that we brought this up at the last election board meeting. We really need the legislature and the governor to address a number of issues, but in particular, this is almost every election where there's a delay around the distribution of mail-in ballots or absentee ballots because of how elongated the legal process is to determine who's on the ballot. It just seems we're coming up a little over a week away from April 1st with an April 23 election, and we still don't know who is on the ballot in a statewide race. I believe it's U.S. Senate. U.S. Senate. And it's immaterial whether it is one of the main people. It's not even a person I know, but they have a right, if they've done it properly, to be on the ballot. But there has to be a better process than what we have in front of us, because a lot of people are not just inconvenienced. This tightens up that process, and people that rely on the post office to get them in, it becomes an issue, but it even becomes an issue getting it out. I can't tell you that the last several elections, I've had multiple people reach out to my office, and in some case, family members with kids in college that are waiting. Where's my ballot? Where's my ballot? In the general election last time, my niece had to FedEx her ballot from Florida a few days before the election because that's when she got it. And even though she applied for it early, and that's what you'll hear, people, well, I got it in early. Well, we can't send them out even now because this issue is not resolved. And hopefully we actually start making some election reform changes, because nothing really has happened since the 2020 general election as it relates to legitimate election reform. That's all that I have. Any comments from our row officers?
Anything at this time, Commissioner?
I don't know. Thank you.
Any public comment? Nothing in person, nothing online. That brings us to the end of our agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
The meeting stands adjourned.